So obviously this is a really interesting story. We get to go, into the past of Ludlow and really explore the history of the city. What kind of drew you most to this project and made you want to be on board?
Well, thanks. Thanks for having me on. Excuse me. um, I got the script. Lindsay Beer, the director and writer, was a friend of Mike Flanagan, and I was working with Mike at the time on, I think, Midnight Mass. And anyway, I read the script, and Mike had, spoken very highly of Lindsay, and I liked the character, and it sounded like a fun time. I got to go to Montreal and work with some really great people. So yeah, it was a great experience.
One of those great people you got to work with was Jackson White, who plays your son. He's really great as kind of the lead character throughout. What stood out about working with him?
Well, Jackson was a great guy and a very skilled musician as well, like a great guitar player and great drummer. And I play music as well, so we got on pretty easily talking about instruments and music and things like that. But I thought he did a great job, and his enthusiasm and youth and vigor and everything. It's inspiring.
There's a really interesting backdrop. It takes place in 1969. Vietnam War is happening, and grief is a theme throughout. How was it kind of, what did you like most about that time period and just kind of the themes at play? Because they really add a lot to just the overall film, it being set during that time period.
Yeah, well, I think it's that whole feeling of encroaching doom, or maybe encroaching change, the possibility of grief, right? Because you have this war looming, and there's a draft going on, and any day your number could get called. And that's you know that's my character's worst nightmare in this. He doesn't want to see his son uh, get called up into service and go to war. So, uh, and I think any parent can relate to that feeling. Whatever actions you would take or wouldn't take, there is that feeling of, not my son, whatever it costs. I'll do my best to try to stop it.
Yeah, that totally comes through. And you had a great role in Doctor Sleep. You've also been in Desperation, plus Nightmares and Dreamscapes. So you've been in a number of these Stephen King adaptations. What do you think about it is about King's stories that just make them stand the test of time and so able to be adapted and reshaped in different manners?
Well, I think, aside from Stephen King himself and his talent, because of his success and all of his stories success, and because of the many adaptations that have already uh, been made and continue to be made, the material itself is familiar to people. Like, it's almost like, a modern folktale, in the sense that, you may not have seen The Shining, but you know the story, right? You may not have read the book, but you've seen the movie. You may not have, uh, you know, read all of his short stories, but someone you know has told you six of them. You know, it's like it's so widespread that it's become kind of uh, familiar to people, and it's a certain style of storytelling. Um, you know, it has its own kind of world of fans and its own you know, medium.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you were great in The Fall of the House of Usher, and that's become such a hit. Why do you think you and Mike Flanagan just work so well together? Because you've really been a really winning combination.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with Mike over the years, and he's, you know, his career has taken off, and he's, you know, had amazing opportunities with directing films and uh, you know, developing things, and it's great. It's great to see that, and it's great to have, you know, been a part of it in a small way. You know, uh,
You know,
I
since you are like his lucky charm, would you want to be involved in the Dark Tower series that he has coming up?
yeah, sure. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a lottery, like amongst the recurring cast members, you know, where we're all kind of like, have you heard anything? No, I haven't heard anything, you know, like, so, I mean, sure, you know, every actor wants a job. So, you know, of course, I would love to be a part of it, but I don't have any kind of like standing deal with Mike or Intrepid Pictures or, you know, any of these guys. It's all kind of, you know, it comes to me or it doesn't, you know. So uh it's kind of funny though, because you hear through the grapevine, like, you know, oh, Mike's shooting this, or Mike's getting ready to, you know, Mike got a deal at Amazon. And you know, there's all like the speculation going on. And and I don't know, it's just, it becomes a funny thing because I always look at it like Mike is the guy who like just kept giving me jobs out of the blue for no apparent reason other than he liked my work, you know, which was great, but it hadn't happened before to me. So it was always kind of a, is this a big sick joke that someone's playing on me just to be cruel, or you know, is this guy actually casting me in all of these things? Uh, but you know, it turned out to be a lot of fun exploring all of these characters, and each of them kind of very different from the previous one. Because I think Mike liked to make me jump through some hoops just to see, you know, how dynamic I could be.